I'm just going to make a really short video. Well, maybe not short. Who knows where my. Because I don't write these things, I just let the flow of consciousness happen. Uh, like the way you'd keep a diary, but I do a video diary because if I were to write it on paper, shit, 10 years from now, nobody's going to be able to read. So, doesn't matter. And I keep forgetting my microphone's here. I bought a new camera that I don't know how to use yet. Still got to work on that. I'll figure it out eventually. Ugh. But I've just been noticing like the unrest on college campuses all across the country lately. People losing their shit, and they're losing their shit over the dumbest things, like in support of terrorists, in support of little kids getting their winkies cut off. Um, yeah, it's the dumbest shit, and it reminded me, like, I was born in the '70s, right? And I remember I watched a documentary on Kent State, and it was a bunch of liberal college students that were fighting against the Vietnam War and hated it. And what they were doing was basically against the rules of the school or against the law. They were just occupying the 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 school's common grounds, drinking alcohol, smoking weed, not leaving when they were told to disperse by authorities, because that the reason authorities exist are to tell you, okay guys, you can't be here anymore, please go home and stop doing what you're doing, stop throwing rocks at the building and breaking windows and shit like that. And they just ignored the authorities, and they were like, yeah, go fuck yourself, we're gonna keep drinking, smoking weed, and fucking throwing rocks in windows. So the state had to call in the National Guard. Now, I don't know if you know anybody in the military. Most of you that see this probably don't. Well, actually, most of you that see this probably do, because at this point, there's no way in hell liberals are watching the shit that I put out because I speak the truth. So, if you're watching this, obviously, we're of like mind. You got a bunch of young kids, 17, 18, 19, 20, just went through boot camp during the Vietnam War. They're ready to kill people. That's what they were trained for. And they are sent to Kent State to tell all of these unruly college students who are draft dodgers, hey, you need to go the fuck home. The people that own this property don't want you here anymore. You're only supposed to be here between this time and this time. You need to go the fuck home. You're definitely not allowed to smoke weed here, and you're definitely not allowed to drink here. You need to go the fuck home. And what do these college students do? They antagonize these military men who just got out of boot and are trained to kill people and are itching for a fight because the Vietnam War is going on. They antagonize them, throw rocks at them, stick flowers in the gun barrels. These men are just there doing their job. And these motherfuckers are fucking treating them as if they're the president of the United States. Like, oh, let's throw rocks at fucking Brad because Brad's wearing a uniform, so he represents the president of the United. No, Brad doesn't give a fuck. He just knows he's getting paid to be there, and he kind of wants to go home too. He doesn't understand why you don't want to go home because he definitely wants to go the fuck home. And eventually, the antagonizing gets too much to these young kids, 18-year-old kids that are handed a service rifle. And the shooting starts. Now, I was born at the end of the 70s. I was raised that Kent State was a tragedy, shouldn't have happened, it was fucked up. Now I'm not so sure. I don't know that it was a bad thing that happened at Kent State. I think it taught fucking kids a lesson because for like, what, 70, 80, 90, 2000, 2000, it's 2020, so what, been 50 years. College students pretty much fucking kept their shit together for 50 years, and now college students are losing their fucking mind. I honestly don't think Kent State was a bad thing anymore. As a matter of fact, it seems like it's probably going to happen again sooner than later because these fucking idiots just aren't figuring it out. So I said this probably be a short video, but I mean, I honestly, despite the way I was raised, despite everything I watched on TV in the 80s and the 90s about Kent State, like during the 90s, I was a fucking hippie. Fucking smoked weed, fucking hung out with everybody, listened to rap music, played music. I was in a band. I was the, the art was art. Like in the 90s, like kids like me, we were like Jinkos were basically the new bell bottoms. Everybody, like girls were wearing flower dresses and flowers in their hair at school. Like it was like the 70s during the 90s. Everybody was like bringing the whole hippie aesthetic back. Kids were doing acid and eating mushrooms, and like my room, I had two black lights, three lava lamps. uh I had fucking highlighters. If you take a yellow highlighter and you write on your wall and then turn a black light on, it glows. So I had highlighters, and my friends and I would be in my room getting high with the black light on, drawing shit on the walls. Because when you turned it off, it disappeared. Well, for a while, because you were smoking weed in that room and the smoke would stick to the wet highlighter, and then all of a sudden you'd have brown fucking markings all over the wall. But as soon as you turn the black light on, they'd glow again. So I would just leave the black light on to hide the fact that I fucked up the walls in the apartment. So, you know, I don't know what happened between 19 I don't know what happened between 2001 and 2024 because I've never politically changed, but politics have changed and the people have changed. And now the same people that I used to sit down and smoke a blunt with, listen to some fucking Snoop, Dre, Eminem, fucking and shit, even fucking new metal like fucking System of a Down, Corn, listen to alternative, the same, like people that like they're like me. They're like, what the fuck is going on with the world? Like we fixed all of this shit and it's broken again. And then you go out and you talk to actual people outside, not the internet. You go outside and you talk, and everybody's like, I don't know what's going on. For some reason, the internet says the world's broken again. And you start to figure it out. Kent State happened because all of these fucking little draft dodgers were so comfortable in the world that they lived in that they felt that they were above authority. And now you look at all the little fucking draft dodgers that are in college. They're not even draft dodgers. They're education dodgers because they're all fucking going to college and taking majors in like gender studies and shit that'll never get them a job. There is no demand for. And you can see that because all these little fuckers are on the internet complaining, I can't get a good paying job that pays fucking 7 digits a year. Yeah, no, yeah. My dad's in his fucking my dad's 69. He gets digits a year, and the man is a fucking military vet. You got to work a long time to get to that point. You don't just get to wake up one day and go, "Oh, great, I make 6 digits a year because no." And those of you that did are finding out real fast that, oh shit, I'm losing my job because it turns out that the company that hired me has figured out that I'm useless. Like the only aspect of my job that I get done every day is showing up, eating their food, clocking in, and fucking walking around. Like there was a video of this bitch that worked for Google showed up, and her entire day at work was she went and had breakfast, then she went and did yoga, then she went and hung out with some puppies, then she went to a half-hour meeting, then she went to lunch. Then she went up onto the roof to enjoy the garden up there. Then she went to go and have dinner, and then she left. She worked for 30 minutes that day, got paid for being there for 8, 9 hours like a fucking adult daycare, and she's getting paid an exorbitant amount, 6 digits a year, to do jack shit nothing. She never stopped by a cubicle and typed anything. She never created anything. She never talked to a customer. She never did any of that shit. She went to a 30-minute meeting where she talked to other people who were only at work for 30 minutes. That's it. And now all you little fuckers who used to say, well, man, if you lose your job, learn to code. Well, now you don't know how to do anything. Don't know how to cook. Don't know how to build. Don't know how your electricity works. Don't know how to fix your fucking car. And you're all losing your job. I don't have any sympathy for you bitches. Join the military or shut the fuck up. These colleges, like the college that just chased Kyle Rittenhouse, calling him a murderer and a racist. I don't know how the racist thing plays in. He didn't shoot any black people. He shot 3 white people, 2 of which were pedophiles, but, you know, he's a racist. White guy shot white guys. And he was found in by a jury of his peers to be in self-defense. So he wasn't convicted of anything. And you motherfuckers are chasing him around calling him a killer. Yeah, OJ Simpson is on a golf course right now. And you motherfuckers, you're not chasing OJ Simpson around. OJ Simpson went to court for killing 2 people. Kyle Rittenhouse only killed one guy. He shot 3, but he only killed one guy. OJ Simpson was accused of killing 2 people, but everybody's like, OJ was set free. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? The amount of racism is fucking staggering. And now you've got fucking people at colleges. We're gays for Palestine. Well, Palestine isn't for the gays. I don't know if you know about militant Muslims, but they hate America. They hate Americans. They hate women. They hate gay. Like, you wouldn't have, like, you are so privileged in the country you live in to be able to fucking sit there and go, I'm for Palestine. Because if I ran this country, like, you think Donald Trump, you're afraid of him being a dictator. One, he was already president and wasn't able to pull that off. Didn't do any of the things you guys say he did or wants to do, and you're afraid he's going to do it. 2, dude's in his 70s. He's not going to live that much longer. 3, if I was president, I would become a dictator. And all of you motherfuckers, I wouldn't fucking have I wouldn't have a SS. I wouldn't be a fucking Nazi and just go around fucking killing people and throwing them in concentration camps. I would throw you out of my country under the basis of being unpatriotic and a traitor. If you're walking down any city street in America flying a flag other than the American flag, I'm sending you to the country of the flag you're waving. And that's where you have to stay, and you're not allowed to come the fuck back. Period. You love Mexico so much, you get to live there. You love China so much, you get to live there. You love the Ukraine so much, enjoy the Ukraine. You love Russia, enjoy Russia. You fucking Canada, enjoy living in Canada. You're not allowed to come fuck back. That makes me a dictator, then that's what I would do. You want to walk around carrying a Palestinian flag, an Iraqi flag, an Afghanistan flag in the streets of my fucking country. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your ethnic background is. I don't care what age you are. If you do that, that's the country that you now get to go and live in. You don't get to come back. We take your fingerprints, we take your ID, we take your birth certificate, we put it all in fucking in the government fucking system. So if you try to come back 50 years later when you're old and you're just like, I want to visit the grave of my mom, the moment you land and have to go through customs, it'll pop up, beep, 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 beep. Oh, this person's not allowed back in the country. And you have to go back. If you survive that long, you faggots walking around carrying the fucking Palestinian flag saying gays for Palestine, like you're not ever coming back. I'm sorry. That's a death sentence. But those of you motherfuckers that are like brown, at least, going to the Middle East, you might come back, especially if you're straight. You might be able to come back. You're still not going to be allowed in the country. As soon as you land, you're going to get put back on a plane and sent back home. But you want to talk about dictatorships? That's how I'd run everything. We are the strongest military in the world. And because of that, you little bitches get to have all of these privileges. And it's time we start taking those fucking privileges away and start teaching lessons to the younger generation that's growing up that, hey, maybe you don't want to fucking act like this. Just saying.